Hi, love, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are not new here. My name is Sarah. I am a professional life coach. I am also an intuitive tarot therapy reader and a certified Reiki practitioner. If you should choose to use me as your personal services provider, I would be so blessed and highly honored. Today we have another session of our Mindful Mondays. I went ahead and I picked a card already. So I am just going to jump right into it. Our Mindful Mondays, just kind of a little note before I do, our Mindful Monday segments and like sessions, if you will, are really based around life coaching more so, and also just to kind of like help us navigate like particular areas and themes in our life. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. So today's card that we're going to cover is casting spells. The words I speak and the stories I tell are like spells. What I say and believe, I attract more of. So I shift my story from lack to abundance, from victim to empowered, and from complaint to gratitude. Now, when I speak to others through my words, I am casting beautiful spells. So with this, I really want to cover the topic of gratitude, kind of shifting our perspective. And we've covered this a little bit in the in kind of like the past sessions, if you will. But I really would love to cover shifting our perspective from lack of abundance to gratitude and therefore abundance. Okay. It's really, really, really important that we do that. And sorry if you see the light coming in over here. The light is coming into my window, but it's really important that we do that. It's also imperative that we do that. And that's the only way that we are going to move forward with our development, move forward with our journey. That's really the way that we are going to progress in our path. If we want to stay in the vibration and the mindset of lack, that is going to keep us stagnant. That's not going to move us forward, and it's not going to bring anything new into our life because we are not being grateful for what we already have. So, now we're going to kind of blend the life coaching aspect and spiritual aspect, if you will, and this can kind of pertain to anybody, regardless of what spiritual system you believe in. So really, when it comes to gratitude, when you sit in a vibration of gratitude, the universe, it reads that. The universe understands that you are thankful, you are grateful for everything that you have. Thus, the universe is going to attract more to you to be grateful for. It's a law of attraction. It's really simple. It's an energetic exchange. Our universe works on energetic exchanges and balances 100% of the time. So that being said, we have to remember to stay in the vibration of gratitude. Okay. Now, we are perfect. Okay. I myself am a person whose first language is sarcasm because my daddy made it that way. All right. So, sometimes we say things, that we don't necessarily like literally mean. And there are a lot of people out here, like especially spiritual teachers out here that make it like, oh, you can never say anything bad. You can never like put anything out into the universe. You can't even speak anything deprecating. Well, my first forms of jokes are self-deprecating. So that's just like me. That's a part of my personality, is just like being sarcastic and witty and just having like self-deprecating jokes sometimes. Not all the time. I've really tempered it down, but still, so don't take this so literally to think that the universe is just going to be, like even if you're joking about something, the universe is just going to whoop we're just going to take away what all they have now. Like, don't get that. You don't have to be worried about that. I disagree with a lot of spiritual teachers on that, but hey, what can I say? Yes, ma'am. Sorry, that was my dog. So, with that in mind, we want to make sure to stay in, generally speaking, again, you can be jokey, you can be, especially if that's something that you're used to as like a part of your personality, you can continue to do that. But what we want to make sure of is the overall vibration that we are in is that of gratitude, is that of abundance. Even if you don't have everything that you want already, you still have so much in your life. I don't care where you're at. You still have so much in your life to be grateful for. Even if the only thing that you can think of today, to be grateful for is you woke up and you're listening to this right now and you have blood pumping through your veins and you have air in your lungs. That's a hell of a lot to be grateful for. That's a hell of a lot to be able to have gratitude for. So I want us to remember that it's super important to, again, shift our perspective, okay? And really speak out to the universe gratitude. Now, when it comes to, we're going to kind of reel it in and circle back, and I'm tying it together, don't worry. When it comes to casting spells, okay? It doesn't literally mean casting spells, but, I personally believe that speaking words, putting them out there is intention setting, and it is spell casting, because if we're going to dive into a little bit more spirituality with it, they don't call it spelling for nothing. Okay. When you spell words, they don't call it spelling for nothing. So that being said, I want to make sure that everybody understands, or at least starts to get the picture and idea of shifting your perspective. If you're not already in the vibration of abundance and the vibration of gratitude, what I implore you to do is practice it. It's not going to happen all at once, because I am somebody who it's been a journey, and it's been extremely difficult and challenging for me to go from, when you're programmed to have this lack mentality, and it's not our parents' faults, but sometimes even when we were growing up, our parents influenced us having a lack mentality. And I think that's something that we each, in our own way, in our own right, need to explore and even kind of, discover. Like, who was the first person to put this idea of lack into my head? Who was the first person to make me believe that, because it wasn't you. I'm going to tell you that right now. The first person in your life, you may be doing it now, but the first person in your life in general to put this idea of lack into your head. And I want you to understand something. When I say lack, and I mean lack mindset, I'm saying the idea that I'll never have enough money. Don't ever say that. If you say that, it's game over, babe. You can turn it around, but it's you're just speaking lack onto yourself. And we don't want to do that. Or I'll never find a partner. That was a big one for me. I'll never find a partner. Yeah, no, that's definitely something that I have had to work on, because like a lot of us out here, I've had a, struggling time with it. But it's important to understand that the universe is conspiring in your favor. And we want to remember that. So don't ever speak those things over yourself, because you're in essence, putting a spell on yourself, saying that you're never going to have enough. And if the universe hears you and even The universe, it's not even just hearing, it's the vibration of. If the universe grasps that you are in the vibration of you're never going to have enough, then it's never going to give you enough. Okay? It's never going to give you enough. And even for those of us who aren't spiritual, if you are constantly telling yourself that you're never going to have enough, I'm never going to find a loving partner, I'm never going to have enough money, I'm never going to be able to get a big house, I'm never going to do this, I'm never going to do that. Our minds are able to be subconsciously programmed. And if you are consistently telling yourself these things, you are subconsciously programming yourself to believe these things are never going to happen. So then they are never going to happen. Okay? I want us to understand how important this is, because whether you're spiritual or not, it's something that we really need to pay attention to. So I guess the whole purpose of today's, and this week's Mindful Monday session is really being conscientious about what we speak out there. And much like last week, what I want you guys to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of homework, and I believe I gave a very similar one, if not exactly the same one last week. But regardless, I want you, when you wake up in the morning or before you go to bed, whichever works for you and your schedule, at some time during the end or the beginning of your day, I want you to you don't even have to write it down. You don't have to write it down, but I just want you to take a moment to be mindful of 3 things that you are grateful for that day specifically. And even if you have the same 3 things repeating for a little while, I want you to still say them out loud. I want you to still say them to yourself. I want you to still say them out loud, and watch how your life changes. I guarantee you. I promise you your life is going to change. If nothing else, your mind is going to change. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Mindful Monday. I love you all so much. I really enjoy doing these for you. If you feel called to donate to us, Cash App is in the description box below, as well as in the bio. My best friend and I make these videos for you guys. But regardless, I love you all, and I really hope that this has resonated with you. This has kind of touched you in some way. Please tell me in the comments below. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me how this has resonated with you. I'd love to interact with you guys. And thank you again for coming, and I will see you all next week. Bye.